Being a victim, it is a conscious choice. It is your choice and it is your fault. Here's why.
I think we all have the point and just trust to it.
All of us, we all struggle to some level, to some extent, feeling a little bit powerless, And to some people, it's very little. Some people, it's very extreme. Like their entire life is predicated upon the assumption that they're a victim. It's the fault of the environment, it's the fault of the system, it's the fault of the government, it's the fault of their family, whatever happened to them. So before we continue, let's just explore the notion of what is a victim. So the victim, in my definition, is someone who's been hurt in the past. Someone who's been hurt by his or her environment, events, people, and they make an identity out of that hurt. And what that creates is this general feeling of powerlessness, of not having control over your life, not having control about who you are, who you're going to become, and your actions, and really giving power away to the external world, to circumstances. That's really what victim does, to be a victim. Why would we want to be a victim? Well, there are actually many secret reasons as to why we keep perpetuating that misery in our lives. Because secretly, those who are victims love to be victims, even if they don't want to admit it. To be a victim gives you a lot of advantages in life. For example, you don't need to take responsibility for your own life, your own emotions, your own circumstances, because by not taking responsibility, by saying it's government's fault, you can't do anything about it. So then, by saying that, you don't have to take action. You don't have to push your comfort zone. You don't have to venture into the unknown. Take action, right? Change your life, because you are a victim. And because it has become who you are, then whatever action you take outside that identity doesn't align with being a victim, and then you will automatically reject it. Being a victim becomes your set point, your baseline, and that's where you're comfortable. Those people who are very victimized, one example is the incels. They put the responsibility on something else, on the external environment. They feel like they're powerless. And what they do is that they'll shit talk women, and then they'll be very misogynistic because that's all they know. They secretly love it because they'll go out and meet with other victims and befriend other victims. That's how those communities are created. And then it gives them some sort of sense of community of like, yeah, we're all failures together. We're all mediocre together, right? So they secretly love to be victims because other people can feel sorry for themselves and it can help them. And sometimes it's used in manipulative ways, Some people that are like will say, "Oh, you never loved me. I thought you were my friend, whatever," and then they throw like some sort of emotional shit at you. I understand those people don't do it intentionally. People will do that because they were hurt in the past or because they feel like victims. So now, why is being a victim a conscious choice? Why is it your fault? Why is it not the external world's fault? Why is it you that is to blame for being a victim? Even though you got sexually abused in the past. Even though your father beat you up when you were younger. Even though the government freaking, I don't know, whatever they did to you. Even though that, why is it still your fault? It's because to be a victim, to come up to that conclusion, it's really a conscious choice. Your conscious mind, what it does is that it draws conclusions from observations, from facts that you see in your environment, and data from the environment. So you just decided one day, you know what? From all the data that I've seen in my environment, all this data means I'm a victim. If you were to really dig down into that conclusion, you will see that it doesn't even stand rationally. But somehow you made a conscious choice that you were a victim. What that does is that your subconscious mind, your unconscious mind, will just automatically look for more confirming evidence of the idea of victim. So then you'll go scanning around for, okay, this is a proof I'm a victim. This is a proof that life is unfair. This is the proof that everyone's against me. This is the proof that my boss hates me. And this is the proof that no woman likes me. And then you look for those confirming events because you set that identity as victim. Now, how do you undo all that shit? How do you undo all of this? First thing is, I want you to challenge all those negative thoughts, all those negative assumptions about yourself that make you feel like a freaking victim. okay? If you were to take every single thought that enters your mind, that is somewhat negative, somewhat irrational, whatever, and you just pinpoint them down to the very root of them, you'd see that most of those thoughts have no ground, no basis to reality, okay? Yeah, maybe your dad told you like, oh, you won't amount to anything. Yeah, okay, that really sucks, I understand. But behind that, if you were to dig down, you would say like, wait, but my father was also had like a fucked up father, and his father also had a fucked up father, and so on and so forth. And they were just saying the same shit to each other. They just didn't know any better. Then you realize, wait, you know what? It's not his fault. It's just he didn't know any better, and what he said had no rational basis whatsoever. It's just he didn't know any better. Let's say you take the thought, I'm worthless, okay? Question that thought. Well, what is worth anyways? How do you measure worth? How do you measure human worth? Is it quantifiable? Can you put it into a box? Can you put it into a container? Can you measure it? If so, what are the measurement units? See, it doesn't make any sense. You could, yeah, okay, maybe a millionaire has more worth than a poor person on the street, okay? Now put those two people, put them on a deserted island. No credit cards, no wallet, nothing. Just two people naked on a deserted island. Now, what's their worth? Who's worth more? Now you'd say, well, the millionaire had achieved so much more in life. Really? Like, are they worth more just because they achieved more? Like if a lion were to be like put right there and then he had to choose between which one to eat, yeah, sure, maybe the millionaire would be a bit more healthy. Therefore, if you would eat the millionaire, the lion would have more nutrients. But anyways, point being is that you can't measure worth. You can't measure it, okay? So dig down to all those thoughts and really like ask the why behind the why. Like, okay, whatever, I'm worthless, I'm unattractive, whatever thought it is. Why is that so? And how could that thought be untrue? Ask that. How could it be untrue? And disprove it, disprove it, disprove it. Second thing is take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility, full responsibility for anything that happens to you. Now I understand that some things will happen in your life, okay, in your environment that you don't have any control over. It'll just be thrown at your face, okay? Your employer will declare bankruptcy, you have no more job, and you gotta find a way to fend for yourself, whatever. That's out of your control. Yes, but your response to that event is your responsibility, no matter what, okay? If after that, you have the thought of, oh, I'm the victim, oh, this sucks, why life is so unfair, this is your responsibility. This thought entering your mind right now. Now, will you let it or not? That's the question. By taking responsibility for your life, okay, you have tremendously more power in your life. And responsibility is the antithesis of being a victim. It's impossible to be a victim if you take full responsibility for your life and you take action to change it and you really 100% persist and make shit fucking happen. To stop being a victim, the next thing you can do is to practice self-acceptance, forgiveness, and gratitude. So the sort of the positive healing emotions. Why it's important to do that is because you can't move on from the past if you haven't first let go of the past. To let go of the past, you gotta accept it. You gotta accept what happened. You gotta accept the circumstances that happened. Right? Never fight reality for what it is. Always accept reality for what it is. You know, a lot of us will try to lie about it to ourselves that reality is another way, or no, that's how it is, even though right in front of them, this is how reality is. Maybe it's difficult right now. Maybe there's a lot of hardship right now. First step is accept it for what it is, right? Forgive yourself for it. And the way you forgive yourself, it's very simple. You say, I forgive myself for whatever happened to me. Whatever I did at that time that was stupid, I forgive myself for that. Yes, you took away my money for whatever X reason. I know it's just because you were hurt in the past. And maybe that's why you wanted to hurt me. And I understand that, we're all hurt to some extent. So you forgive them for that. And another way too is you practice gratitude. I keep a gratitude journal. I don't write in there every day, but once in a while when I'm feeling the inspiration, I write what I'm grateful about. So that's another way too. So you say, I'm grateful about, you have to feel that feeling as you write it down, the gratitude. You say, I'm grateful about this camera that's helping me reach thousands of people on the internet and even millions. I'm grateful about this beautiful light, LED light, that's helping me to shoot this amazing shot right now. And this red light that's putting a bit of ambience, right? I'm grateful about that. How can you really be a victim if there's so many good things to be grateful about and happy about in your life? And the last thing to stop being a victim is very simple. Find your life purpose. Once you find your life purpose and you live in accordance to your life purpose, you'll see that it's impossible to be a victim, because you have to eradicate all those negative emotions, negative thoughts about yourself. You have to grow and transcend your present identity. That's what it's like with a life purpose. And that's why I encourage you to find your life purpose, because with that life purpose, then really nothing stops you at that point. And if you're interested in finding your life purpose for free, make sure you click on the link below in the description. It says Life Purpose Book, and you get access to my book. And don't forget to click on the bell and click on subscribe so you see all my videos as soon as they're released every Wednesday and Saturday from now on. And on Sundays, you get also a live stream. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.